Everyone, welcome to another video. Now, for my sins, as the title suggests, I was subjected to an hour and a half of Love Island on Sunday night. It's not a program I've ever watched before, and no, it's not a new passion of mine. It's just that my stepdaughter, who is 13, who basically has been badgering my wife for some time to watch this program when it comes on air. So we wanted to watch the first episode, really, just see how bad the sex and the language and all the rest of it was before we potentially let her watch it. Personally, the sex and the language and all of that really wasn't too bad, but my God, what a lot of drivel. Yeah, as everyone knows, I'm off the alcohol at the moment, but I know there's a bottle of whiskey in the sideboard, and it really very nearly had me reaching for that. It was just dire. So my apologies to any of my viewers who do watch this this program, but from my perspective, it was utter drivel. But then again, I only watched the first episode. I was only kind of half concentrating on it, really. I was kind of zoning in and out, but my God, it just seemed like just so much nonsense, and nothing happened. That was the amazing thing. But anyway, that's not the point of the video. How bad Love Island is isn't the point of this video. But what it did highlight to me is what I can see being the next sort of addiction epidemic in sort of the younger generation, and something we might not see really rear its ugly head for a good number of years yet. Now, we know that going back, if we look at addictions through the years, so to speak, smoking wasn't considered unhealthy. In some respects, it was considered good for you in the sort of the 20s, 30s, 40s, certainly during the sort of the war and the post-war era. We became more and more aware of its, the health implications and the dangers of smoking as time went on, until we got to the point now where, I at risk of being cynical, if it wasn't a good sort of tax fundraiser, I'm pretty certain it would have been banned by now and sort of driven into the black market. We've done the same with alcohol. We're a little bit behind on alcohol really in this country, but certainly the dangers of alcohol are becoming more and more publicised. More and more people are giving up alcohol or are trying to restrict their alcohol usage, and we have the lowest number of drinkers in sort of the younger generations now than we've had in living memory. I actually happened to be at the student union bar at the Essex University not so long ago. No, I wasn't down partying with the kids, but I was there on a bit of work, and yeah, I was there on a weekend day, sort of post lunchtime, and I could count on one hand the amount of people in there that were drinking. Certainly a change from when I was that age. So yeah, we're becoming more and more aware of the dangers of alcohol, and now we are becoming slowly more aware of the dangers of gambling. The help and assistance available for addicted gamblers is becoming better and better. The legislation is becoming tighter after obviously after it was de-legislated under the new Labour government. That wasn't a political statement, of course. That was just when it was deregulated and when obviously the FOBTs came in and the problems really started escalating. So now we're a bit more aware of the problems that gambling is causing, and there's a bit more help now in place. I know there's now more gambling treatment available on the NHS, so we're becoming more and more aware of that addiction. So these kind of addictions work in sort of almost generationally. Almost every generation becomes more aware of the addictions of the previous generation, which had previously been considered possibly not particularly harmful, or like I say, in terms of smoking, was at one point considered even as having health benefits. Obviously obesity again is another one that's kind of come, and we become more and more aware of these issues. So how does this relate to Love Island, apart from me getting to put Love Island in the title and hopefully generate a few more views? Well, watching Love Island basically made me very aware of something I've heard experts talk about previously, and that is this addiction that young people have to an instant gratification. We live in a society of instant gratification, and actually gambling is part of this. But certainly programs like Love Island, which tie in so closely to this social media generation, are really just a symptom and a real demonstration of this society we live in now, where young people require or seek instant gratification. And the reason they do this is because of an addiction, in a sense, and it's addiction to an endorphin. It's an addiction to dopamine, And now dopamine is, as almost anyone who's watching a video about gambling addiction will know, dopamine is the feel-good drug that your brain releases when you partake in certain activities. And the reason we become addicted to gambling is because your body releases dopamine during periods of, uncertainty is not the word, but basically that period between placing a bet and receiving the result, your brain will be flooded with dopamine. And this is why things like fob teas are so dangerous, because they allow you to speed up that release of dopamine sort of time after time after time with very quick succession. Whereas before it would have been a case of placing a bet on a horse race and waiting for the result, and that you don't get such an intense, such a regular dopamine hit. Now, youngsters aren't getting this dopamine through traditional methods often. They're not getting it through alcohol. They're not, well, a lot of young people are gambling, but that will soon, I'm sure, tail off. The problem, I believe, lies, and this is where Love Island and similar things come in, is they're getting this dopamine hit through the approval of social media. This is why the Instagram generation has come in. This is where Facebook with likes and all of that sort of thing has come in. They want instant gratification. They want to post a photo online and then receive instant recognition, instant acknowledgement, instant validation through likes and shares and comments on their photos. And this is a very, very dangerous thing. We can see already the issues it's having. I, for example, and I won't name any names, know at least one person who dramatically alters their photos before they post them online so that they get an increased number of likes and of comments. And the reason they do this is because they want that validation, they want that verification, and they want it more and more. They want it in higher and higher doses. This is why people track the number of friends, the number of followers on Instagram. They want that number of likes to keep increasing, because that is validating them, that is giving them that dopamine hit. It's the same as, this is why you get young people looking for notifications on their phone, because when it pops up that someone liked your post or that you've got a new follower or a new subscriber, it gives you that little bit of a dopamine hit. And we can see this in Love Island. Everything is instant. Even in the first episode that I watched, they are pairing these couples up instantly. They're putting hashtags on the screen so people can interact with it instantly. Everything is quick. There is no, everything has to be achieved instantly to get that hit. I might not be explaining myself properly. I didn't really plan this video, but like I say, after I watched this on Sunday night, I thought I can see in the future this is going to cause a real problem, particularly as maybe social media maybe start dying off in some respects, or that these people, dare I say it, get older. People lose interest in them. The young, attractive people posting on Instagram and commanding these likes and these follows may get less young and less attractive, as we all do, and suddenly they'll find that their validation, the validation and the hit they're getting from this acknowledgement of likes and shares and followers and subscribers and all of this will tail off, and they'll still be left with this addiction in their heads, this desire for this dopamine hit, which they've been getting time after time after time, and an increasing and then ever decreasing level. They'll be craving this dopamine hit, and this will be the addiction really of the next generation, the Generation Z or whatever generation it's currently called. This will be the problem we'll be coping with in many years to come. To be completely honest, I don't know the solution, and it's not. I think it's not even reserved for the Instagram stars, the people that you see who are so obviously sort of flouting themselves. It's reserved for everyone. Again, referring to my stepdaughter, who's a young teen. She's very down to earth. She's relatively normal. But she, even on her phone is full of photos of herself, which she'll post online. And as the girls get older, this just becomes, I believe, more and more of an issue, because particularly when you're an older teenage girl, what do you do if you want to increase your likes, your follows and your comments and that validation that you so crave? Well, obviously, it doesn't need to be said, does it, that it's not, the end result isn't necessarily a pretty one, and that just opens up a whole other world of issues. Aside of the addiction, it leads these girls to seek approval of others, and the blokes as well. But I think it's the girls that are going to be more in danger of this addiction as they get older, and they're going to be looking for validation in their lives, and an instant gratification, not something you have to work for. Why get a job and work hard and save and try and work your way up and achieve, when you can gain an Instagram base of followers and likes and shares that instantly validate you, literally by taking your clothes off or doing whatever. So I think this is going to be the addiction for the next generation. And this, going back to the title of this video, this is why I think things like Love Island are so dangerous, because they're basically teaching a very shallow, very aesthetic driven narrative. That actually, to be famous, to be popular, all you have to do is be good looking, and not even naturally good looking. All you need to do is fill a mold, fill a certain ideal of what is considered attractive, albeit in a very, very fake way. And you can be instantly famous, and you can get that as much instant gratification as you like. And it will lead to so many young girls and young guys seeking this validation, which will ultimately lead to this dopamine addiction. My apologies, I've rambled a bit in this video, but I hope it really does come across my point. Like I said, I don't know what the solution is. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, really. But I do think that Love Island is just a symptom. It's not the cause. It's a symptom of this addiction, this desire, this need, this addiction to validation and to that dopamine hit you get when someone tells you look great in a photo. And yes, I do understand the irony of posting a video about this on YouTube. And on that note, if you don't mind subscribing, it will give me a nice little dopamine hit, and maybe give the video a thumbs up and drop me a comment. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Probably be talking about gambling again a bit more in my next video, but I hope you see how this ties in. I might even pop this video on my other channel. Basically, I like to rant about various things, as you can probably tell, but not all of it's going to be relevant to my current subscribers who want to sort of hear me talk about gambling and addiction and what have you. So we'll probably put this on my other channel as well, which I may even link in the description. Even if it's not something you're interested in, if you don't mind going over there and giving us a sub, maybe give that a bit of a kickstart, because like I say, I just like talking about all sorts of things that come to mind, and they're not always gambling related. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you soon.